once upon a time, in the heart of Willow Creek Woods, where mushrooms grew in staircases up ancient trees and the air hummed with magic, stood the Great Willow. This place was famous for one thing above all, the annual Festival of Lights. But for one little firefly named Flicker, it was a time of anxiety. His glow was a soft, gentle, and often hesitant pulse this year. However, a shadow was falling over the festive preparations. The vibrant, glowing moss that carpeted the creek banks was fading this year. However, a shadow was falling over the festive preparations. The vibrant, glowing moss that carpeted the creek banks was fading. Come on, Flicker, light it up. A zippy firefly named Bolt would buzz, doing a loop-the-loop of pure golden. This year, however, a shadow was falling over the festive preparations. The vibrant, glowing moss that carpeted the creek banks was fading. An emergency council was called among the elders at the base of the Great Willow. "The creek is weakening," she announced, her voice grave. "The water that feeds the glow moss has slowed to a trickle." From her perch on a low branch, a kingfisher with iridescent blue feathers and an impatient beak listened intently. A dry creek meant no fish. Flicker listened too, and then he heard Elder Luma whisper of a legend, the lost river of light. An idea sparked in Flicker's mind, a spark far brighter than the one on his tail. What if I could find it? Filled with a new, shaky determination, he knew he couldn't do it alone. He needed the greatest digger in the woods. Digby, a grumpy old badger, was grumbling as he tried to dislodge a stubborn turnip from his garden. "Humph. These turnips get more stubborn every year." "Mr. Digby, sir?" Flicker squeaked. Digby squinted. What is it, little spark?"
Bah.
"A legend. A bedtime story," he grumped. "I'm too old and my claws are too tired for wild goose chases." Just then, Zippy the kingfisher landed with a splashless dive into a puddle. She came up with nothing but mud on her beak. "Pa," she squawked. "A lost river, you say?" she chirped. "It's a silly idea, but it's the only idea we've got." The old badger looked from the determined little firefly to the pitifully low creek, and he relented with a great sigh. The unlikeliest team in the history of Willow Creek Woods had just been formed. But for a badger, it was just a bit of morning exercise. With powerful scrapes of his long claws, Digby cleared the entrance. Digby huffed, wiping a paw on his brow. "There's your door. After you." The darkness inside was absolute, a cold, silent dark that swallowed sound and light. "I can't see a thing," Zippy whispered. This was Flicker's moment. His small light was everything. It created a small, safe bubble of visibility. "I can guide us," he said. He had never felt so useful in his life. He led them through twisting tunnels and vast, echoing caverns. Deeper they went until they reached a vast, underground lake where the water was still and stagnant. Blocking their path was a creature of immense size, a giant, ancient salamander with sleepy, black eyes. "Halt!" The salamander's voice boomed, slow and deep like shifting stones. "Who disturbs my gloom? Go away." Instead of speaking, Flicker began to use his light. He flashed a slow, gentle pulse to say hello, and then a bright, hopeful pulse. "We can fix this." He saw no aggression in the little creature, only a promise. With a slow, ponderous nod, he shifted his immense body to the side. "The blockage is that way," he grumbled. "If you can bring it back, you may pass." The path the salamander revealed led them to the heart of the underground, a colossal cavern, so vast their echoes got lost trying to find the ceiling. And there, in the center, was the source of all their troubles. A single, gigantic crystal, the Heartstone. The Heartstone. Digby breathed in awe. "It's too big. Even my strongest claws can't move that." "There are smaller channels around it," Zippy zipped, "but they're clogged solid with centuries of mud and rock." It seemed hopeless. But looking at the problem together, a plan began to form, a plan that needed all three of them. The final effort began. Zippy became a blue blur, using her sharp, strong beak to hammer away at the hardened mud. Digby, with a mighty roar, began digging at the base of the Heartstone, trying to undermine its foundation. Flicker flew right up to the face of the massive Heartstone and saw it, a tiny, hairline crack near the center. It was a keyhole, his keyhole. He poured all of his hope, all of his courage, into his light. He let it all out in one magnificent flash. Combined with Digby's digging and the relieved pressure from Zippy's work, the great Heartstone groaned, shuddered, and then, with a deafening crack, it split apart. The lost river of light, free at last, surged forward in a triumphant, roaring torrent of pure, glowing water. The powerful, clean current carried the three heroes on a joyful ride back through the tunnels, washing Old Man Sludge's cavern clean, and bursting out into the moonlight. Willow Creek was flowing again, and on the banks, the glow moss was pulsing with a vibrant, healthy light. A steady light that guides friends through the dark can save the world, Elder Luma said. You are the true heart of this festival. That night, Flicker led the fireflies' dance, his warm, gentle light the center around which all the other, brighter lights swirled, creating the most spectacular display Willow Creek Woods had ever seen.